Let me just make sure that I've closed Jake's stream so that way I'm not hearing myself in duplicate, which would be a terrible situation. It is time to get involved with some Zelda 2. I just need to increase the decibels because I did a audio test beforehand, and Zelda 2 on the emulator is actually surprisingly quiet compared to most other games. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Alright, let's get into it. This is Zelda 2. It is one of my childhood favorites. It basically takes up one of my basically I had like three primary favorites. I had this, I had R-Type, and I had don't worry, Lucky, I will. And I had a Sega game called, for some reason my brain keeps wanting to say Super Monkey Boy, but no, it's Teddy Boy, which is a terrible game that it looks like there's not going to be enough time on the situation for me to impose it upon other people, but that's okay. Let's get into the plot of this game. After Ganon was destroyed in the first game, Impa told Link a sleeping spell was cast on Princess Zelda. She will wake only with the power of the number 3 Triforce, sealed in a palace in Hyrule. To break the seal, crystals must be placed in statues in 6 well-guarded palaces. Link set out on his most adventuresome quest yet. Alright, let's get started. I made the name choice of one of my subs, so I was doing it on random, and Dams was the one who got the random, so that's who we're going to go as. I was hoping Max would, but because I threw the admins in there as well, but that's fine. Let's jump straight into it. Okay, so this is Zelda 2. This is, you're going to spend a lot of time on this overworld map. It's pretty different from the other Zelda games. And when you enter combat zones, which is either with the black figures on the map, or if you enter specific sort of regions in the game, you're going to find yourself in these sort of side-scrolling Zelda-style things. It's a bit weird. It is a bit weird. Game is hella quiet. Yeah, we can fix that. Give me a sec. I did think that I had raised it up enough, but clearly I hadn't. Cool. Hopefully that should be better. Let me know. It is a quiet game, so... there are also towns, which is where we're in the town of Raru right now. And you get to go and explore the towns. And in fact, you have to explore the towns. In order to unlock certain things, you will need to... Okay, let me just do that again. Let's just max this then. I think it's the... I don't know if it's the emulator or the ROM that I'm playing on, but it's... I did comment that it's remarkably quiet, so... Alright, sorry, I didn't mean to talk to you. That's alright. So, there are required things. So we have to talk to this girl. She says, talk with our father before we leave. And so if we head on inside, we get to visit the first of... I forget what the rulebook calls them. Are they the wise old men, the sages? I forget exactly what they are, but this one tells us that hey, use this magic to survive, and we get our first and honestly probably the single most useful spell in the entire game, Shield. Now this game's a bit weird, right? You might think, hey, that cost us 32 mana to cast, right? And we've got like 4 bars on the top of the screen, so you might think that it takes 3.2 bars or something to cast it. But no, those 4 bars represent 64 magic units, if memory serves. So shield right now would take up half of our magic usage. But then, when we level up, we can get things like life. You might have seen that when we leveled up the first time. We, oh yeah, lots of fantastic things in this. You might have seen that that we got life, but our life bar didn't increase. Leveling up life, decreases the damage we take. So it's a bit weird. So we enter our first dark cave. And there's just one little lonely solitary enemy over there. But it's a pretty cool thing, because the game is trying to teach you that, hey, look, caves are dark. And if we had have gone a different route, we would have ended up going into another dark cave, but with a lot more enemies. But we were told to go and get a candle in a palace. We're sort of doing a bit of a sidetrack here. Because in this game, if you explore off the beaten path, it's amazing what you can find. Oh, that was close. One of the things that I really appreciate about this game, even now, is that it actually controls surprisingly well. Like, it's a little floaty, but you've got, like, a decent amount of control. I think the worst part is the knockback from enemies can be quite substantial. But for a NES game, it controls pretty darn well. So, yeah, I've died to bubbles many times in my life. So yeah, what Lucky's effectively referencing there is if I get hit by a bubble in a specific place, it can just send me straight down these bottomless pits, which of course kill us. It's not a pleasant death. It's no Festus quest, that's for sure. Oh man, no, it is not. Deathset says, I've always heard this is the black sheep of the Zelda series. It certainly is, but it has a lot of like, in a way, right? It sort of did a few things that the series continue to take inspiration from. It also has, this is one of my favorite pieces of music in any NES game ever, is this dungeon theme. I think it's fantastic. So, the dungeons are pretty straightforward. We've got the same sort of combat that we had earlier in the game. You're going to see that I probably make this look a little bit easy, and the game, at least in its first castle, is certainly easy for the most part. There are a couple of like annoying enemies, but they are mostly just annoying. Like these blobs, they have 3 different movement states. One is their like little hops that you just saw them doing. They can also do like a larger hop, but then sometimes they can do like a little butt wiggle, and then they do a massive leap, and that can be really annoying. Because they can do it just off of ledges, and just they can like leap over almost half a screen. So these ghost guys, I've never bothered to learn the names of all these enemies, but they're pretty cool. You can go straight through them, but we're going to kill this one. Now, childhood me thought that you couldn't kill them because, you know, we're sitting here and we're stabbing over and over and over and over and over and over again. But they are actually killable, and in fact, early on in the game, like now, they do actually give you a decent amount of experience. So we're going to get 50 for killing this, which will bring us to our next level, and this is probably going to be one of 2, maybe 3 places that we kill them. The other thing childhood me didn't know is that you could walk through them when they were in that invulnerable state. I did keep trying to avoid them, but yeah, we get our next level up, and that increases our magic. Now, that magic doesn't actually increase our magic, it actually decreases the cost of our spells. Slight difference, but hey, it's fine. We'll get pickups throughout the game, which will increase the total amount of magic that we have available to us. So yeah, the enemies right now are quite simplistic, but you might notice that they have a shield. If we hit them in the shield, they're going to be like pushed back a little bit. Similarly, the enemies can hit us in our shield. The the green thing in front of us is not our sword being held, but a shield. And so we can also block attacks and stuff, which, you know, I'll be using to great effect pretty soon when we encounter our first of the knights. There's also a lot of secrets in this game. I mean, I find it funny that people talk about like Metroidvanias when I feel like, in a way, I mean, I guess it's not one cohesive level, but Zelda 2 was pretty darn good on the like sort of Metroidvania styled almost, in that you've got to go places, you've got to get unlocks to explore new places and all that sort of shenanigans. I can see how childhood you could see that, Jake. After all, I've seen what you consider to be a gun. So yeah, what I did there was just, it's a habit that I have. Whenever I find a magic pickup, I'll use shield. And yeah, even though like we clearly didn't need it in this early dungeon, I'm not going to take damage. I mean, I might take damage. Let's not say I'm not going to take damage. Like, I'm pretty good at dealing with the knights, but they can, you know, occasionally get me, and the blobs can occasionally do their big leap and surprise me, so I'm not impervious to damage. Yeah, lucky. This I did a run through just to make sure that my 3-hour time should be okay, and it should be. So I really didn't want to go overtime if I could avoid it. So we're going to farm these guys. Well, not farm them, we're just going to kill these 3. And basically, part of the reason why we want to do this is, at the end of a dungeon, we get a full level up. Also, one of the things that I haven't explained is when we level up, we can actually choose to decline our level up to accrue more experience points to level up something else. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Young. I really want to make sure that we're able to get this done. Which is why I was confident giving an extra 10 minutes. We should hopefully hit this in 3 hours. In a way, like, without playing the game first is kind of a good thing too, right? Like, there's a game that I'll be playing later on, which I've already forgotten the name of. I picked it up just to make sure that we got all the games picked up. I don't intend on playing that before, like, outside of, like, 5 seconds to make sure that it works. And I'm sure I will absolutely hate it. So now we get our first attack level up. If memory serves, it increases our damage by, I think it's something weird, like 30% or something. It's not a flat doubling or anything like that. No, it's not You Don't Know Jack. I've got that sorted. Yeah, Overlord, that's it. Overlord seems like an interesting game, but we'll see how it goes. So these guys are like the Hammer Bros of the game. They're pretty cool. What's interesting is that even though there's a little bit of sprite reusage in this game, there's almost a character reusage. So we're going to see these guys a lot, and they are always going to have this annoying tendency to move their shield to try and block me, and make my day a bad time. What inspired? Oh yes, here we go. I knew Jake was going to come with that question, and yet I completely forgot to answer it ahead of schedule. Okay, what do I have to say? Jake's asking, what inspired me to join this marathon, and why did I choose to play the Zelda game? So I guess the easy answer is that I missed the Nancy Drew marathon, and I didn't get a chance to participate in that, and I still feel a a little let down that I avoided such absolute quality titles. The actual honest truth is maybe a little bit, I don't know, emotional. Like, you know, like, streaming and being a part of the Jake community has really, like, made my life a more enjoyable experience. And, like, I don't know what I'd do without having the Jake community. And I'm sure, look, you know, sometime, like 5 or 10 years from now, maybe we've all gone our separate ways and whatever. But it's had a big, meaningful impact on my life. And if I can give back to that via streaming and via participating in marathons like this, I will. Because it's pretty cool. As for Zelda, like I said, game from my youth, I knew I'd be good at it. I knew that I'd be able to provide somewhat entertaining gameplay, and hopefully maybe a little bit of hubris where I fall down a pit or two. So, like, Shadow saying, like, how you can escape playing board games with me. Yeah, that's true. You won't let me. I've sometimes avoided talking to you for like 6 months straight, and you still send me messages. So I think that's a for life situation there, Shadow. But yeah, that's right, Black Winds. You got it. It's all on you. So here we go. We're up against our first boss. Pretty straightforward. He's got a weak spot. Can you tell what it is? It's his head. Yeah, it's a NES game. We know how this works. He has an attack. It's pretty slow. It can still sometimes hit you when you're rebounding. The jumps in this game aren't like this game controls well for a NES game, but it still doesn't control fantastically. You can't really precisely control exactly where you're going to land from jumps and stuff, but we're going to kill him. That's going to level us up. And why do we want to be leveled up? Because now we have fresh experience. And when we've got fresh experience, we get to jump on in and get a full level up, which is fantastic. Alright. So I look forward to, the game that I look forward to the most seeing is, I've already seen about an hour of it, but Twitch is being an utter arse at the moment, and when I'm watching VODs, plays like ads every 10 minutes. But hey look, this cave that was now dark, now that we have the candle, is all lit up. Which is pretty cool. So now we can see in caves, and that's going to be vitally important elsewhere. But yeah, watching JJ and his Symphony of the Night run has been really good. I didn't know that the guy hadn't played it before, and so I'm glad I didn't take it from him, because Symphony of the Night is a fantastic experience. Now, one of the things that I was doing there was I was encountering that enemy on the road. And part of the reason why I might encounter enemies on the road is because when you encounter an enemy on the road, you basically have an empty encounter, which is pretty good. He'll never finish it? Oh, come on! Surely I can bribe the man. Maybe not the way I bribed Baron. That was maybe a little overkill. It's a pity. So this is our first magic jar. Gives us additional magic, just like the heart we got earlier gives us additional life. Yeah, I haven't watched the whole VOD, so it's a pity if he didn't enjoy himself. Then he won't be surprised by its ending. So you might notice that there's sometimes like different enemies on the map that pop up for us, right? So sometimes we get like the big dudes. Sometimes we get the blobs. It just sort of depends. Now this guy is a pain in the behind. There we go. So the big guys on the overworld map are like more difficult encounters, and the blobs are easier encounters. And the fairies, well, if you're familiar with Zelda games, provide fairies most of the time. So yeah, it's pretty good. All right, we got our boomerang guy. All right. So with that, we now will be able to go and talk to a guy in a village. We played. Oh, actually, Shadow, do you remember when we played the board game based on this? I'd forgotten about that until literally just now. But Shadow and I played a Zelda 2 board game of all things. It came out of super left field, but it was enjoyable-ish. It was enjoyable if you'd played the game. I don't think it was probably enjoyable if you had no real knowledge of the game necessarily. Oh yeah, let's... Saved our trophy. Come see my uncle. So we're going to go and see number 2 here. And what's he got for us? With this we can jump very high. That's alright, Irishman. There's always VODs. There's always VODs. No worries, Vuma. Good luck. Where we're going, we don't need luck, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Alright. So, what to talk about, I suppose. Like Shadow said, for people who care, the board game is too faithful to the original game to be good. Yeah, definitely. It does get the feel correct. Did we rate it on our sheet? I assume we rated on our sheet. Shadow and I have a ongoing list of board games that we've played, and we rate them. And we rate them all in a 1 to 10 scale, with 1 being Dueling Samurai level. And I don't know if we've both rated a game a 10. We probably haven't. What kind of cat do you have, that said? Top 5 best board games. Oof. 5 best board games. Caverna, Twilight Struggle. I want to turn around and say that game that Shadow beats me at all the time. But even Shadow won't remember what that one is. I don't own it, but I really want to. It's about giving... It's like about a seaside town, and you're giving goods to upgrade things, and... Oh man, I'm making a mess of trying to remember the name of the game. We gave the Hyrule Fantasy a 7 out of 10, yeah, that's fair. Oh, why can't I remember the name of this game? And why can't I remember enough about the game to verbally... That's Extra Life. Verbally explain it to Shadow so he knows what we're talking about. Oh, come on, Shadow. You kick my ass at this game every time we play it. And you really like it. I think you... No, I don't think you own a physical copy of it, but you've definitely played it physically as well. Yeah, Shadow will remember eventually. Keyflower, there we go. See, I knew you'd get it. Keyflower, that's it. I really like it. It's really tight economically and quite interesting. But yeah, I am utterly terrible at it. Kanban. Kanban would be up there as well, I think. Which is a car manufacturing board game, which honestly sounded terrible, but was actually like super good. What else? Galaxy Trucker. Are we at 5 yet? Yeah, any of the Lacerda games could fit in there, but Kanban was the most surprising, I think. Like, I expected to not really enjoy Kanban as much as I did, and we've played Kanban more than any of the other Lacerda games. Galaxy Trucker is a phenomenal game, which is basically you get a whole bunch of junk, and you make spaceships out of those junk to go and take on like delivery type things and go through asteroid fields. And because your ship's made out of junk, you basically are doing this race with other Galaxy Truckers to do the same thing. And oh yeah, there's secrets sometimes in those guys. But your ship is made out of garbage, so like everyone's ship is falling to pieces around them, and we're going through challenges and getting half your ship torn off. And like, it's one of those games where, unless you've been playing it a long time like I have, you invariably have a really terrible ship, and it's just seeing which of you fail least. It's not really about winning, it's about failing the least. And sort of enjoying someone being like, oh, my ship's impervious, and then, you know, dice rolls causing a giant meteor to screw up their day. It's pretty fun. Terra Mystica is the only other game that I rated above an 8 that we played together. Yeah, that's fair. Did we play it together? I don't think we played it to full, but yeah. Terra Mystica is really good. Ooh, actually, let's add this. I know it's way past 5, but Spirit Island. Spirit Island is fantastic. I do need to grab the... oh, that's weird glitching. I do need to grab the Steam game version. Oh. Yeah, Lucky, it is an incredibly good experience. And it's one of those experiences that are just as enjoyable to play by yourself, from what I gather, as it is with other people. As long as you're not someone who, like... Because it's cooperative. If you're one of those people who are going to... yeah, let's try and level up mostly from this guy. No. There'll be other guys here. Yeah, as long as you're not the kind of person that, like, in a cooperative scenario has to, like, control everyone's moves and stuff. Because then, of course, you know, you're gonna have fun, but your friends won't. But yeah, as long as you can play cooperative games like that, fine. I think it's probably... I would almost go so far as to say my best cooperative experience. It's really meaty and really interesting. And the theme's awesome. It's like, you know, you're defending against colonization, basically, so it's pretty cool. Well, Brelix, do I have news for you? It just arrived today. I have finally got all of the equipment needed to stream single-player board games. So, like, in person. So, that's what I'm going to be doing. Don't know how well it'll go, but we'll certainly be giving it a shot. And if it goes well, excellent. And if it doesn't go well, oh well, I gave it a shot and I tried something new. So, yeah. Gee, why would you be asking such a thing, I wonder? Maybe. I think our banter's pretty good. I think chat would enjoy our banter. So, you know, you've named more board games than I think I've played. Yeah, I have probably got about 100 board games. Yeah, it would be about that. So, I mean, a lot of those are like really tiny board games, like small box games and stuff, but, yeah, I have played Between Two Castles. I prefer Between Two Cities, but I have played Between Two Castles. I think Vast would make for good watching. Cynthia? Do you prefer me to use your name or to use your Twitch name? I suppose I should have said that before I just said what I said. Yeah, you see all of it. It really depends on who you're playing with. No, like I totally get what you're saying. I used to be the kind of person that effectively turned cooperation stuff into a single player thing, and I used to get really stressed playing cooperative games because whenever we weren't doing something that was optimal, like if my brain had figured out the optimal solution to the puzzle, and then we weren't doing that optimal thing, it was, yeah, really problematic for me. So I wasn't a fun gamer to be around at that point. But I eventually learnt this thing called compersion, and yeah, managed to be able to gain the enjoyment in seeing how others treat the same puzzle, basically. And that's pretty rad. Alright, so here we face our first of the Red Knights. You might see that they attack a little bit fast, they also do a little bit more damage, they also have a little bit more health. Well, actually they have a lot more health, because the game expects you to have a higher attack value by this point. But they also give you more XP, so that's fine. Childhood me hated these guys. Adult me still doesn't particularly like them, but I very rarely get hit by them. They sort of have a rhythmic pattern. Like, as long as you're pushing them far enough back and you keep enough distance, you can pretty much predict what they're going to do and how they're going to attack. So... But, as you can tell, sometimes they are a pain in the behind, and if you could kindly die, good sir, that would be fantastic. Ah, there we go. Alright. Okay. Power Glove Get. I actually forget what it's called, but this allows us to do some cool stuff, as you will soon see. Alrighty. So, what we're going to do here is just let this fill up a little bit. Why would we be doing this, I wonder? It's a secret to everyone. Wait, that's the other Zelda game. Okay. And then we should be able to knock some blocks now. Alright. So, basically, if we didn't do that, we would basically risk being crushed, and we instantly lose a life, which is not a lot of fun. But since we got that glove, we can now get through our blocks, which is pretty good. Alright. So not every dungeon do you need to explore the entire thing. That's another thing. Like, a lot of them you do, but especially the later you get into the dungeons, there's a lot of side paths that you don't need to take and stuff like that. Alright, as long as you're not going to be a pain, should be okay. Nice. The orange ones are significantly easier to deal with than the red ones, so... Alright, come on. There we go. Oh, some experience. Nice. As far as my planning, a little bit out of whack, but it should be okay. Alright, let's get this guy back here so we don't have to deal with getting shot in the back. And also so that way if he tries to jump over us, it will just fail. Almost. Yeah, our dreams of a hitless run have long since evaporated. I was maybe hoping to go a little bit further in the game before getting hit, but it doesn't surprise me that I took damage already. Alright. So, what do you want to chat about? We have like a whole. This is where if we were doing some kind of speed run, I'd be like, if you've got any donations, now would be the time to hear them. I guess I could talk about. There goes your chance at no hit speed run, right? Oh my, get the damn key. Oh, not that one. I guess I could say like, I liked this game so much. In fact, I still have them. I might. I'll show them off in Jake Chord at the end of the run. But I have these vintage gum scratch things. Like they're like playing cards, but you can scratch sections off on them, and it's like a Zelda adventure. They're really neat. Really neat. What stream have I enjoyed most, and what one am I looking forward to? So, I mean, I've been away for the last couple of days, so I haven't really had a chance to watch many of the streams, unfortunately. So I'm really looking forward to Orlov's Mega Man X run. When Jake told me that Orlov really wanted Mega Man X, I was happy to give it up to him, because I think basically a lot of people have really fond memories of Mega Man X, and I think it's a fantastic game that doesn't get played enough nowadays. Like, a lot of people play the base Mega Mans, but X rarely gets played, so I think it'll be really good to see like chat's reaction to it, because I know a lot of chat have seen like the base Mega Man games, but once again they'll not necessarily have seen an X, so just jump over that guy and avoid him entirely. Yeah, I miss Pepsi Man, Death said. Alright, so this guy, hey, you hit him in the head, but after you hit him in the head, see, this is what I was talking about jumping. His little helmets come off, and they float around, and they shoot at you, which is fun. For small quantities of fun. Alright. Come on, let's not have our first death here, that would be good. Alrighty. Hey Marvin, I hope you're doing well. Alright. Yeah, if I can do this deathless, I'll be really happy. I don't expect to. There's a lot of stuff that can kill you in this game, but we'll see. We'll see. So that is Castle 2 of 6 down. We're 1/3 of the way through the game. I should have maybe put a timer up, but that's okay. We've been going for, what, 40 minutes or so at this point, so we're not doing too badly. That's alright, I saw someone's run. Actually, forget, yeah, I think it was the Overblood. There were multiple timers on stream, so I'm glad to see that that's been part of the community experience. Yeah, I got to watch about 30 minutes of Overblood, and it seemed like a lot of fun. And by fun, I mean fun for everyone watching. Oh, come on. I hate these bloomin' cats. There we go. Yeah, I got to see a good about half hour of Ape Escape as well, which was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I guess since we're here, chat, tell me what has been your favourite run of the stream so far. If you've watched a few of them, pipe in with your favourites. If you've got a favourite moment, mention that. Let's yeah. I mean, I'm gonna watch everything. It's just might take me a while to get to it, much like the Nancy stream. Really like Mario Land. Okay. Didn't think many people would ever say that, but I guess watching it is a different experience from playing it. The Italian Job was pretty entertaining. One person in chat knew the movie well. Yeah, look, I can't guarantee that this run is going to be fun. It's going to be competent, and if you value competency, well, you're in the right place. I know that sometimes we hear in Jake stuff value incompetency, but no, what you will inevitably see is likely some hubris. Alright. So, that's right, there is a guy randomly in a thing, and if you don't stumble across it, you miss stuff, which is always great. I think someone in the village tells you like roughly where he is or something, but I don't recall. I like that. I like that our very first stream gave us our very first hubris moment, though. I think that was absolutely fantastic. Oh. Actually, what I was impressed with as well was I got to find out that there's another Australian streamer who streams EU4. And he doesn't just stream EU4, and he's not just Australian, but he's from Adelaide, the same place I am. So, that's pretty neat. I'm looking forward to watching that a little bit more. So, it certainly did, that's it. We'll take the ferry, not because we were out of life, although we were down a little bit, but because it's better than anything else. Alrighty, we go in here. And under the table it says, amazing. I wonder what we'll need a mirror for. It's a secret to everyone. That's right, she had lost her mirror. Also, don't mind her climbing the wall like that. This game is, it's certainly nowhere near the jankiest NES game, but it has a little bit of jank. Alright, so a spell that we probably will use never is Life. It's the most expensive spell in the game. Ooh, actually that might not be true. I think the last spell that we get is probably the most expensive spell in the game. But it is, it's pretty close to it. Yeah, I think, look, the first Zelda game is fantastic, don't get me wrong. It is a wonderful, wonderful game. But this game is one of those games that I feel like if you had it as a kid, and you didn't have like a huge variety of games to play, it grew on you. You know, what I liked about this was when I was stuck, I could still advance through... Oh yeah, by the way, welcome to Maze Land. You could still, like, you couldn't advance the story, but you could still, like, gain levels and that sort of thing. Which was pretty neat. If you didn't have good games to compare it to, you might have ended up liking it. Yeah, well. You missed a maze struck again, no. It's not quite that bad, thankfully. It's no worse than the Pokemon teleport mazes and stuff like that. It's basically the same kind of thing. Oh, also, I do intend on showing off a glitch. A glitch that Kid Me found. I am assuming it's super well known in the speedrunning community and stuff like that, but it was a pretty cool glitch, and once I learnt that I could exploit it to my, you know, good... What am I trying to say? Once I learned that I could exploit it for good advantages, I did. The secret glitch that you'll only get to find out if you keep watching, you poor person having to sit through someone play Zelda 2. Alright. Okay, I think this is still pretty correct. I don't think I've chosen an incorrect path yet, so we should be alright. Oh, thank you very much, Ninja. Exclusive content only found here. It could be. It would be hilarious if the speedrunning community didn't know about this. But I would be very surprised if they didn't. It's an incredibly basic glitch that anyone exploring the game will have figured out. So, these guys throw axes, and axes can't be blocked by our shield. Or more to the point, can't currently be blocked with my shield. Spoilers. There's a decent likelihood that we'll take damage there. There we go. So yeah, I was going to do a Symphony of the Night run, and I look forward to doing it after, at some point, like after the marathon or something like that. Or if someone gives up a ton of time and no one else is around to take over the time, I might do it then. I was going to do a... so in Symphony of the Night, once you've completed the game and stuff, and you can unlock passwords and stuff, and you can play as other characters. You don't just have to play as Alucard. And I figure that people who have seen Symphony of the Night, or even played Symphony of the Night, might not have necessarily played as Richter or Maria. So I might do a Maria speedrun, effectively. I did try and speedrun the game in the past. So I think what's going on with the visual glitching in this, by the way, is I think it's so in the NES, what would normally happen in when there's too many entities on the screen is that it would slow down, and I think it's part of that slowdown. So too much happening on the screen at once, and it just crawls to a halt. Alright, but we should be, any other Metroidvanias I enjoy? Sure, all of them. I don't think there's many of them that I don't enjoy. I still haven't finished Hollow Knight. I do definitely need to. Isn't the limit 7 sprites on light? Probably. I've been enjoying watching Zenonera, who has been a long time part of Geek Chat, even if he spends a lot of time offline. And he's been going through some not obscure Metroidvanias, but definitely like off the beaten path Metroidvanias, and that's been really fun to watch. And it's given me a couple of Metroidvanias that I wouldn't mind playing. I really enjoyed Bloodstained. I thought Bloodstained was pretty fantastic. Even if it was effectively just a love letter to Symphony of the Night. I mean Bloodstained, the 2.5D one, not the 2D one. But yeah, it is effectively just a love letter to Symphony of the Night. But it is a good one, so I definitely enjoyed quite a lot of it. Thoughts on Metroid Dread? I haven't played it. I hear that it's disappointing. But I also have heard people loving it, so it's one of those divisive games, I guess. But yeah, I don't have a personal thought about it. I'm just not rich enough to be able to afford Switch games when they first come out, so I will play Metroid Dread. I do have a Switch. It will just have to wait until it gets cheaper, basically. I do like the so from what I've seen of Metroid Dread, I do like the running away from the dude chasing you mechanic. That's pretty cool. But one of the things that I didn't like was it sort of seemed like any difficult enemies that the person came up against seemed to all be dealt with the same way, with this sort of parrying mechanic, and it seemed a little sameish. And yeah. So that sprite, by the way, the spike thing, has the exact same AI effectively as the blobs, just faster. Yeah, that's true, Lucky. One of the things that I like to do is I like to buy. So when I feel like I've got a few games backed up that I want to play, I'll buy the one that I am least likely to like first, play it, finish it, and I blitz through games. Play it, finish it, then I sell it on to someone else, and then I use that money to buy the next game, and so on and so forth down the line. Yeah, definitely not a game collector. I probably own about maybe only 4 Switch games, so on Mattock, let us blow up that rock, and if we drop in here, we get that, and there you go, I got to use life. You saw me use it. I said I wouldn't, but I figured that since we're going to get a full magic restore there, it might as well. Oh, these worms, of course. This is the area that gave me, this is probably the area that I got stuck in the most as a kid. It took a long time for me to get comfortable with this area. Worm sign. Okay, there we go. That's something we can talk about. How about that Dune movie, huh? I haven't seen it yet, but so don't spoil anything. No, I'm joking about that. Yeah, it comes out in a little bit over a week. I'm really looking forward to giving it a go. I found the best cinema in South Australia to watch it in, and should be seeing it opening night. Should be good. We shouldn't talk about it then. Nah, you can talk about it. It's Dune. I've read the book. I've seen the first movie. I've seen the miniseries. It's fine. if people, I mean, I'm sure that there's people who don't want to see spoilers of it though, so maybe not, but yeah, if there's one thing that I think Denis Villeneuve can really do, it's he can make a visually impressive movie. And that's all I really want out of it, right? Is I want a Dune movie that, like, visually amazes me and is reasonably faithful. That's it. That's all I want. And yeah, I trust Denis Villeneuve to be able to do that. So yeah. I feel like Denis's movies could probably be a little bit better audio-wise. They're not always the best in that department, but that's okay. Actually, you know, another director who could have made a visually stunning Dune movie. I don't remember the director's name, but he directed this movie called The Cell back in 2000. It was, as Death's Head said about seeing the 80s one and saying that it was a trip, The Cell is a trip of a movie. It is a psychological horror movie, but it is incredibly visually entertaining, especially for a movie from the 2000s. And I think it holds up because a lot of it's just makeup and stuff. Yeah, Tarsum Singh. Yeah. Yeah, F. Geezy. I keep meaning to watch Sicario and some of his earlier work, but I only started watching Denis's films with Arrival, which I really liked. It's up there as a really good and involved movie. So yeah, it is really good. I highly rate Arrival. Yeah, it's such a pity that Singer's doing that though, Marvin. Like he directed The Cell, right? And The Cell, if memory serves, got made like 3 times more money than it cost. So you'd think that they would have been like, hey, you created this like fantastic film that a ton of people loved, like, let's go. But I think because it had such controversial subject matter, that he was sort of like not allowed to do stuff because of that, is going to be my guess. He just didn't have the friends to go far in Hollywood. Yeah, I guess that would also do it, right? But it's such a pity because, like, his work, like, it's all visually, like, stylistically incredible. Like, even his, like, later ones. The Cell is just the one that I remember the most because it's my jam, basically. Alright, so, yet another artifact. I just realised I haven't actually been talking about the game or explaining what I'm doing. I'm just going into caves and getting things and then going elsewhere. So we need... basically how this game works is it works just like every Metroidvania, right? You need items to progress in the game, and basically every new castle has either an item in it that you need to progress through a cave, or an item outside it that you need to progress through the castle. Surely that's this game. No. And so, yeah, you basically have that basic Metroidvania-esque formula of just trying to find the new item, finding the new item, doing it. This would be hell-blind. I would never recommend Zelda 2 to someone who had not already played it. I don't think it's a good game. Okay, I don't think it's a good game in terms of being understandable enough for people to easily figure out what's going on. I think most people who play this game will get stuck. I used jump in the wrong place there. Here we go. There's just too much, too many vague hints, too many translations that are just poor. It's a good old you need a guide game. Yeah, it totally is. Olaf says, I had my question answered. You had a question, Olaf? I didn't even see it. Oh, sorry, I didn't answer your question. Oh, okay. Wow, good professional streamer I am, missing chat like that. Yeah, basically, so there are, like, little hints, right? Like, the lady with the mirror says that, you know, I lost it in town, and you can, basically, go, like, explore town and you'll eventually stumble across it. I don't remember if you necessarily need to duck to find the mirror, I just do. You might need to duck. I think I just do it out of habit. But yeah, as a kid it was a lot of trial and error. You know, we didn't really have the internet at my house, so we didn't really have guides. And so when we got stuck in games, we really got stuck in them. Actually, I've got a fun Zelda memory about that. So we're playing Zelda Link to the Past. You barely have internet now. Come on now, I haven't even dropped a frame in this session. So Link to the Past. You finally face Arganim, and he basically you need to, like, reflect his magic at him. We couldn't figure out what you needed to do. Both my mother and I played it. We took turns playing it. And, is that my first down stab? It probably is. Oh, right, yeah. Because we just learnt it, idiot. So yeah, I suppose I should show off upstabbing as well. You have both kinds of attacks, downstab and an upstab. But yeah, so yeah, I fell asleep, and I dreamt that you could ricochet his magic back at him with your sword. And then I woke up, and Mum had already figured it out. But, oh, yeah, he took a bit. Saucer came to me in a dream. It did! It legitimately did. Unfortunately, my mum had already figured it out. She'd stayed up super late just retrying the fight over and over again until she eventually, by chance, ricocheted his magic and then went, ah. So... oh. Sorry, just concentrating, because it's easy to take a bit of damage in this area. Well, I mean, dreams are just your subconscious communicating with you. It's fine. And, I mean, it's, you know, what is that, like a stop clock is right twice a day? Same concept. You know, eventually your subconscious is going to force you to dream of something that is real. Alrighty. Another one of these guys, but this guy is a little bit easier. I shouldn't take as much damage with him because I can just get him to fall down there. And then we can just stab him to death. Fantastic. So we jump straight over that, so that way we don't have to deal with that guy. Then we find ourselves outside. How interesting. I kind of like this section. You know, I probably didn't pay attention to it as a kid, but like, I like that you go inside a dungeon and then you leave the dungeon to do stuff. Like, it's pretty neat. Man, these guys take a bit. Can't wait for my next attack level up, then they will be nothing. But yeah, stylistically, it's quite a good game for its time. I think that it, and I truly don't know whether or not the lack of direction is purely a translation issue, because it could be. I've never researched to see if the Japanese version of the game makes significantly more sense. But yeah. You know, visually it's a good game, it controls well, it's got, it doesn't have varied sound, but, like, it's only really got a handful of themes, but, they're mostly good themes, so there is that. Alright, well, I mean, the good news is that if that guy had kept blocking us, he would have fallen off the screen, so... The amount of times I've been knocked by that blob into the swamp. Well, not swamp in this area, it's kind of lava, but... Come on, dude. One more. There we go. And, well, you thought the red guys were annoying, now we've got the blue guys. Thankfully the blue guys, well, the blue guys attack faster, and they can attack multiple times in quick succession, as you can see. And they throw, and they have more health, and they do more damage, and they... I think they block probably about as frequently as the red guys do, but, yeah, it's a bit of a pain. But, once we kill this guy, we do get access to the raft. And they phase through walls casually. Yeah, they go through locked doors quite casually. Really annoying if you don't have a key. Alright. So, I mean, I wish I could say that that was the only Blue Knight in the game, but... yeah. About that. Come on, dude. Alright, cool. He's backed off. That works too. Come on. My deathless run. It must continue. See? Secrets that you can only figure out once you play the game a bunch. Like, who would think to use a jump spell to test whether or not that had something? We'll see. I mean, my mum did, definitely. My mum used to have... Look, you know, I have plenty of bad memories of my mum. But, you know, the fact that she was a gamer and she imparted her love of games into me is definitely not one of those bad memories. She used to keep a book, you know, she would write down, like, things in games and stuff that she'd figure out, so that way when we replayed them or went back to them later, we would have more details. It was pretty good. I remember the only game that she did ever get a guide for, which was a Sierra game called Quest for Glory. And she went to the library and, you know, found out about good old GameFAQs, basically. Maybe whatever was the precursor to GameFAQs at that point. And spent a whole bunch of money printing out not just the walkthrough for that game, but for every game in the series. So she comes home with, like, I don't know, like 2,000 pages of walkthrough. Yeah. It was an experience. No, Marvin, I don't believe so. It'd be like saying that Google was the first search engine, which it most certainly was not. Yeah, absolutely lucky. It was for a fantastic series. Quest for Glory series is a wonderful, wonderful series. Alta Vista, Dogpile, and Jeeves? Cool. I'm sure you would be familiar with Nutscrape Navigator then. There's another search engine that my brain is having difficulty remembering. It usually can remember it really well, but it can't right now. That was also about as old as Alta Vista that I used to use. Oh yeah, Yahoo. Yeah, Yahoo search was totally a thing. And Nutscrape Navigator, it was a web browser, and it was actually called Netscape Navigator, but it was interesting. Oh, good night, Nick. I hope you have a wonderful sleep. Alright, and a red guy to deal with. Actually, I didn't need to deal with that blue guy, but I suppose he was good XP, so... And we do need a bunch of XP before hitting this boss, so... I wonder if we'll be able to level it up. Yeah, there might have been relics. It might not have been. I mean... It could have just been something that my mum found on, like, a website just dedicated to Quest for Glory walkthroughs. It might not have even been on GameFAQs itself. Alright. This will make these knights a little bit easier to deal with. Especially the blue ones. Oh, actually, wow. Okay, we just dropped him to 3 hits. Excellent. Red ones are not a problem anymore. Alright. Let's go over this. I could have used jump magic, but it's not like we're on a timer or anything. Yeah, there was a ton engine. Like, yeah. Alright, so get a good look at this guy. You're going to be seeing him more than once, but the way of killing him is pretty straightforward. You know, we put shield on just so that way we... oh, by the way, I didn't really explain, but shield means that we take half damage from anything, and that's after our life level gets taken into account. Now, I say that, but not all enemies in this game do standard damage. So a lot of enemies in this game do standard damage, but some of the enemies in this game actually take a percentage of your health. So it doesn't actually matter how high your life level is. They'll still do the same amount of damage, regardless. And well, now that he's off, well, we know exactly what he is. He's just a blue knight. He is a blue knight with a little bit more health, but... and if memory serves, he's probably a little bit more damage too, but... Oh, no, it's probably about the same amount of damage, actually. Yeah, the knights are actually, like, they're annoying when they block a ton of hits, but they are actually kind of fun to fight, outside of that, really, so... Alright. So, an hour 20. This is going pretty well. I mean, but the latter stages of this game are definitely longer than the earlier. So far, lucky. So far, I wouldn't entirely call it flawless. We've had a couple of potential mishaps, but yes, no deaths, and that's all I can really say. And, I mean, you've played this, Lucky, you know how easy death can come for you in this game. It doesn't matter how good at the game you are. I imagine speedrunners die to the same stuff that can kill me in this game too, so... Oh yeah. Yeah, bubbles, oh, there's like a section later on in the game as well that, like, I think near the end dungeon, which is also full of perilous pits. Blobs waiting on the edge of pits. Oh, these flying guys. That's alright. That's alright. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I don't like these guys much either, to be honest, so I definitely don't want to fight them. So these guys are easy to deal with, except the amount of time that they spend with their eyes closed varies. And so the easiest way to deal with them in a lot of situations is to downstab them, like I just did. And, but if you're near a pit and you downstab them, they have the potential to keep their eyes closed long enough for your downstab to just ricochet off them a bunch of times and then send you into the pit. So, it's fun. For small versions of fun. Alright, here we are in Nibiru. It's another town, just like every other town we've been in before. And like every town in the game. Right? Actually, if memory serves, this one's pretty normal. But, she's a thirsty girl. Well, if you insist, lady. But no, it's just another wise old man. Alright, welcome to pretty much the most useless. It's not entirely useless, but it's pretty bad. We will not really be using it. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't explain it, but I should have. Our sword only shoots out, like, special lasers and stuff when we're full on health. Ah, yeah, you're right, it is. So, yeah, I guess I should have stayed on that girl a little bit longer, but there are lovely ladies in every town who will gladly take you into their homes and heal you of your wounds. Free of charge. I guess I didn't explain at the title of the stream. Alright. Well, yeah, they are pretty good at dealing with spiders. So this is also a precursor to GTA. No, I mean, that's the thing, Baron. There's really not a lot to explain. We clear an area, we go to the next area, we clear an area, we go to the next area. It's a fairly straightforward game. It's just that it's a bit hard to follow because I'm doing a bad job narrating it, obviously. But I mean, it's a NES game, right? It's fairly simplistic. It doesn't have the ladies go like, "Hey Link, can you think of any ways of paying us?" And he replies, "By bringing peace to Hyrule," and jumps out the window and runs out of town at full sprint. Well, yeah, these guys are pretty easy to deal with. But yeah, this game takes the recoloring of sprites to just mean that the enemy does more damage and does new stuff quite heavily and quite literally, so... Alright, once again, hey look, it's an area with a wall that we need to do, and if we jump over it, get a bunch more XP. You might think, hey, like, that's a bit weird, but I kind of want to, like, show off, like, most of the game. We've got 3 hours, so... So who likes Zelda 2 again? Nitro? I don't know. It sounded like Lucky has some positive memories associated with it. I certainly do. Unfortunately, not a lot of what you love about Zelda 2 translates to a streaming experience. Because a lot of it is how... oh, I'm pretty sure that... Oh, actually, for Jake, that might not have been facetious. Yeah, that might not have been facetious. So that's the magic lady. She refills her magic when we need it, so... Yeah, so what I was trying to say was that, because my brain just had a giant brain fart, was that it doesn't show on stream, but its your ability to control, this is actually pretty good. So, alright, hey look, it's Mr. Maze number 2. So, except that, well, different areas of this can lead you to different places. And you might have thought, hey, why would we go down this obvious dead end? Oh yeah, and if you thought the knights were annoying, well, these guys are equally annoying. What is that? Honestly, I don't remember what that's called. I'm just gonna, like, go out on a limb and just be like, I don't remember what that's called. But we need it in order to progress. Charge. What is that called? It'll come to me eventually. It's like a missing kid or something like that. Either way, we take him to we basically go in the maze, we find this kid, and now we've got to go all the way back to where we just were because someone is missing him. And by him missing him, we can return him and get a spell that we need. So yeah, it's stuff like this that make me wonder whether or not Jake is being facetious with calling this the best Zelda, because it certainly has like a ton of like backtracking and pathfinding and having to know where stuff is. It sounds like all the things Jake hates, so... Oh yeah, definitely. Jake loves his to-kill pits though, he does. Like this one that I will just jump over. Actually. Yeah? Yeah, no worries. Yeah, got about like an hour and a half left, I think. Too easy. Sorry about that. Oh, bubbles. The bubbles of doom. I've got to say, I've been really enjoying using a PS5 controller. I was using this Xbox controller, this Xbox 360 controller for ages. But the PS5 controller is significantly better and far more quiet. So now we have the mountain town of Darunia. And this seems like just another ordinary town, but with a purple sky. But if we jump up... Oh, it's on this roof first. And then over here. And then over here. And over here we can go down someone's chimney. Well, this is a blue mic. Alright. When you jump, press up to stab. Now we have the up stab. See? Which is going to be really good for dealing with all of the flying enemies. Yeah, so I have the old Blue Yetis, like the first generation Blue Yetis. And it's a machine. I have dropped it off of this table, well, multiple times. And it has, it survived well. I know that my audio tends to peak a little bit at the moment. I should fix that. Actually, I mean, I've got like the most amount of people that I've seen watching my stream for a while. How has my audio been? Has it been mostly good? Has there been a couple of times where it's been a little loud or anything like that? Like, I'm happy to make some adjustments to it. But I haven't heard any complaints recently, so I haven't made any changes. So, hey Garnright, hope you're doing well. I remember buying a new PS5 controller that showed up unboxed in a baggie. Ouch, Shadow. Yeah. So that's a neat little trick that you can do when you want to go back to the start of a town. You just exit it, and then come back in. Might as well grab us a little bit of rest. Yep. It certainly is, lady. But yeah, for my board game, soon-to-be board game streams, I have a Rode Wireless Go and a Rode Lavalier mic. Lavalier, one of those two, however you're supposed to say it. Lav mic, how about I just call it that? Which should work pretty well. Should work pretty well. So I also like, one of the YouTubers that I watch is like DIY Perks, and he made his own microphone, which was pretty cool. I'm never going to be that handy, but it was pretty rad. I'm going to make my own speakers though. That's going to be a pretty cool project. So... And thanks, Olaf. Yeah, but that wasn't what you've always used, is it, Lucky? Didn't you have a, you had a mic before that, right? Alright. Against these guys, we use fire. Yeah, that's what I thought. What have you found the NT1 to provide like much of a difference? Like I know it's been like a richer sound and stuff, but hey Baron, the first mic I ever had was called a mod mic, and it was this. I bought it especially to stream U4 with, and it just because I didn't have a headset, and it effectively had like a sticky side that you attached to your headphones, and yeah, it worked fine. Alright, so now that we have Reflect, we can come back in here. And the upstab, like the upstab is going to help us as well. Maybe not in this area like massively, but yeah. Yeah, I shouldn't have besmirched fire. I forgot how good it was, so... It's worth pointing out, Baron, that you're never going to be satisfied with the sound of your own voice. So it's always going to sound weird to you. But what you should do is you should get a third party to listen to it and see what they think. Gotta fall asleep to your own videos for a year, that'll sort you out. True. It's a little bit narcissistic, but let's go with it. See, because I watch videos at 2 times speed, or even higher, because I'm weird like that. Yay, autism. No one sounds the way they should to me because I listen to them at a chipmunk speed almost. So. Alright, oh yes. This is where we get the magic. So we're almost... Is that the last magic thing? No, I think there might be one more. Yeah, it's true, Lucky. What I'm impressed with, and this is what impressed me, right? So my board game setup that I'm going to be doing, right? I'm using my phone as a camera, and I'm using the Rode Wireless Go, I'm actually going to be seated like 20 meters away from the computer that's streaming, and no wires to the computer, just all done over Wi-Fi and whatever weird protocol the Wireless Go uses. So, like, that's going to be pretty cool. Like, not having to set up, like, a proper streaming solution that's, like, plugged into a bunch of, like having to move a computer or having, like, a dedicated computer for doing the real-life streaming. So... Alright, since we're at kind of like a bit where I don't really know what to talk about, since we brought up board games, if you do play board games, do you have a favourite board game, or a couple of favourite board games? If so, what are they? Like, what game do you really enjoy? Space Alert. Yeah, still haven't played Space Alert. Heard good things. It's a Vlada Chvátil game, so I should enjoy it. Just never gotten around to playing it. Forbidden Stars is a really good 40k game. Yeah, I've seen the box for that. Haven't played that. Played Nemesis recently. Have you tried it? No. Nemesis. Nemesis. It sounds really familiar to me, though. Nemesis. It's like a horror game, right? Like something about a spaceship. Yeah, the Aliens game. Yeah. Yeah, no, I have something about stars. Man, stars. Let's not get me started on the stars. Stars, right? Oh, such a good game. There's nothing wrong with Catan, Catan's a fantastic game. Like, it probably overstays its welcome, but with a couple of expansions, it's a phenomenal game. It's just, yeah. But even base Catan can be fun. It's just, you know, like, and there's something to be said for nostalgia in games too. You still hate base Catan? Yeah, I don't. I think the only thing I dislike about base Catan is that it's effectively almost a solved game, right? So, like, there are definite ideal moves that you can make, and if you know what those are, you're going to have a massive advantage over anyone who doesn't. And, like, I also dislike that so much of the board state is determined from the very start of the game. So, like the game is effectively almost, you know, there's a bunch of luck involved, but unless you're playing with similarly skilled players, you effectively dominate them at the very start of the game, and they don't really have a chance to come back from that. So, yeah. Yeah, I used to run board games and stream them, Ninja, online. I had Max join a couple of times. We had Deb join a couple of times. Probably another couple of guys join as well. But I think the thing that we sort of... Well, I think the thing that I sort of figured out is that... is that it's really... Yeah, we should have read the rules pre-stream though, yeah. Yeah. I think that there was a lot of stuff that we could have done better when we were doing that, that ended up slowing down the entire experience. I think if we were to redo it now, we would totally just make everyone read the rules. Like, hey, you want to be a part of this? If you're going to be a part of this, you must read the rules beforehand, otherwise, I'm sorry, you aren't. Oh yeah, I forgot that they return like that. Otherwise you can't join, because, yeah, it was a massive time sink. So yeah, as you just saw, sometimes those statues don't always... so sometimes they carry nothing, sometimes they carry good stuff, and sometimes they carry enemies in disguise. Okay, let's switch to talking. Power Grid is a good time. Sorry, I missed that, Baron. Yeah, Power Grid is an excellent time. It was one of my so my very first board games that I purchased for myself were Power Grid and Twilight Imperium. And Power Grid is pretty good. So the reason why we killed that guy is because he can really mess up our fight with the blue guy. First game I bought was Power Grid in college. Nice. It's a good game. In fact, you know, I don't really play it anymore, but because once again it has that skill thing where, you know, I've played so much of it that, like, when I'm playing it with other people, I have a massive advantage over them. And it's one of those games that if someone has a massive advantage over you, you can't really clamber that back, right? I love Twilight Imperium, we can never find. Alright, it's Twilight Imperium story time. So, naturally I purchased Twilight Imperium. It was one of my first board game purchases, and it was naturally also one of the most expensive board game purchases I ever made. No, not ever made, but at the time it was definitely really quite expensive. It was sort of well known to be out of print at that point in time, and yeah, so it cost me like 130 Australian dollars or something like that, which was a lot back then. I mean, it's still a decent amount now. But yeah, got the game home, fell in love with it, you know, but could never find enough people to play it. So eventually, you know, I gained some friends somehow, and none of them had really played board games before, and I was like, come over, let's play Twilight Imperium. P.S. It's going to take the whole day. And poor... so many of those people. I was terrible. It's like there's a joke about this, I forget what show it's from, but oh wow, I'm getting pretty close to dying here. Let's play a little bit more cautiously. Was that your plan to get rid of friends? It certainly was. So two things happen. So the Twilight Imperium has like a diplomacy element to it. And it let me hold off on this story for just a second. Okay. Alright. I think there's something in here, actually. Yep. There is certainly something in here. That wasn't quite what I expected, but... Okay. Those guys should be stuck up there. I'm free to... Yeah. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. Okay. Oh. Crap. Kill that. Okay. Come on. Alright. Whew. I'm gonna completely forget what I was talking about. Okay. Oh, we're not out of the woods yet, Relics. Oh, actually. Yes, we are. More or less. Yep. I don't have enough mana for that. Okay. Let's go up here and then this will let us get something that we left behind. Okay. And now, once we deal with this annoyance. Oh, perfect. Well, I said that you'd barely see me use the life spell, but yeah, okay, that was a bit stressful. Let's get back to it. So yeah, I invited a bunch of friends around to play Twilight Imperium, and it has elements of diplomacy in it. And naturally, I did the same sort of thing that I did to Max. You know, was like, yeah, we can totally have an alliance, and yeah, we totally didn't have an alliance. Now, I'm normally a fairly trustworthy guy in diplomatic games, but I do like to use that trustworthiness for my advantage from time to time. So yeah, I effectively ruined a friendship because of that. But I have this great thing, because there was this guy who was flirting with this girl the entire night. And she was super not interested, right? But she was like, she wasn't really enjoying the game and whatever. But she totally like teamed up with him, and you know, they were both attacking me and stuff because I was, you know, I was going to win if they didn't, basically. It was fine. Totally understandable. But then we got to the end of the game, and I came to the realization that if she attacked him in this like last round, she would have like a 50-50 shot, effectively, of winning the game. But you know, she'd been like a good person the entire time, a fantastic ally, like everything. You know, didn't have a mean bone in her body. But I remember him going like, he literally said, "You wouldn't do that to me, would you, babe?" And if he hadn't have said those words, she totally wouldn't have done it. But she was so fed up with him, flirting with her all night. She just, like, the moment he said it, just turned around and went, "Yeah, no, you're dead." And backstabbed him. It was beautiful. And, like, he looked like a hurt puppy. It was fantastic. And she won. Card came up which she needed, and she won, which was pretty great. Yeah, dude definitely got what he deserved. So yeah, yeah, that was back when I was new to board games. I was super excited by the hobby and stuff like that. And yeah, I was a bit of a jerk, didn't really understand that, I could blame it on autism again, but didn't really understand that, people had differences of what they enjoyed and stuff like that, and that maybe maybe a galactic conquest game wouldn't be for them. I understand better now. It just took me a little bit. Alright. But yeah, some of those board gamers still play board games today, and I'm sure some of them, whenever board games are mentioned, have some kind of PTSD trauma related to them. So it's win-win all around, really. It's... yeah, no, nowadays I'm much better at introducing people to board games. I also no longer... one of the other things that I used to be pretty terrible for, and now I sort of am not as terrible for, as I used to be... yeah, we are still deathless, Cynthia. It was very, very, very close a few minutes ago. Yeah, just play a dice rolling board game. Yeah, one of the things that I used to be really bad for is playing hyper competitively and playing to win no matter what. And now I've learned that, I gain more enjoyment out of seeing other people enjoy the hobby than I do necessarily winning. So, maybe that's because I've spent a lot of time with board game developers now and board game designers. I think it's also got to do with Mrs. Bane, beating it into me. But yeah. Yeah, Cynthia's playing the new Pokemon game. Cynthia's got Pearl, I believe. And Mrs. Bane has Diamond. But yeah, so Shadow is saying... Shadow's saying that playing a dice rolling board game, the reason for that is that I have notoriously bad dice luck in board games. Not so much in video games, we've found out, but... oh yeah, by the way, I'm cheesing the hell out of this boss, so it's fine. It's a really hard boss. Yep, don't know how we managed. All the enjoyment the Drooling Samurai provides to people. Oh. Does Mrs. Bane approve of me ruining friendships over board games? No, she doesn't, which is why she's eventually taught my autistic ass how to socialize with normal people in a normal way. It's fine. One of the cool things about the remake Olaf is you can there's cool things with HMs. I like that the stuff that was traditionally on like a second display, Mrs. Bane was showing me it today, the stuff that was like traditionally on your bottom display, you can effectively have in like a miniature screen, or you can turn it off entirely, which is pretty rad. But yeah. I mean, TBW always are leveled in pretty much all Pokemon games, though. I mean, maybe it is particularly worse than the gen was originally. It's possible. Yeah, I try my best not to... that was pretty rad. I try my best not to judge people on the board games they play. I do still You know, I can't really tolerate personally, you know, your Cards Against Humanities and your, oh yeah, by the way, this looks a little bit weird, but there's things that, like, magically block your way. And if you just go over here, we get a heart. Which, you know, good luck having ever found that, by the way. Alright. One more castle. I like that they've sort of changed the palette and there's like little bolts on this one. It's pretty good. But yeah, I was saying, I have difficulty enjoying things like, you know, Rick and Morty games, or like Cards Against Humanity or stuff like that. I just don't find them fun. Or if I do find them fun, I only find them fun for a single play, so... To be fair, you need to have a really high IQ to enjoy Rick and Morty. Yeah, sure. Am I more into Euros? No, not really. I mean, yes. But also no. Like, I play Ameritrash and stuff like that. Like, but I also play, like, 19XX games, 18XX games, and I play, like, GMT war games, and I play, like, card management games. I pretty much play, like, everything else. I just, oh, that could have almost been a pit death. But, yeah. As for Werewolf and Secret Hitler, I like them, I'm just too good at them. Wow, that sounded super egotistic. Yeah, but I am surprisingly good at them. Maybe the only one that I'm bad at is Battlestar Galactica, but I don't think that really counts. Yeah, Twilight Struggle is absolutely fantastic. I like them, but sadly I'm too powerful to be contained. It's true. Look, okay, so alright, here we go. Let me explain, right? So I'm playing Secret Hitler for the first time. It's a fairly straightforward game if you've played other kind of... so, okay, let me explain. It's a... hidden role game where you might be a Nazi or you might not be a Nazi. And if you're a Nazi, there's a chance that you're Hitler or you're not, right? And that's the entire concept of the game. Basically, social deduction, yeah, it's totally that. And there's going to be, like, bills passed to you, and you're going to have choices, you're going to get cards passed to you by other players that either contain a, like, yes, this is a good thing, or no, this is a bad thing. And you have to choose, if you're the Chancellor, you have to choose whether or not you pass a good thing or a bad thing. Now, we'd already played one round of it where I had won, well, my team had won, and everyone was suddenly suspicious of me because they saw how easy I was to, like, do stuff with. But there was one person there, the person who invited me that day, who, like, he knew me amazingly well. We'd been friends for years and years and years. We'd shared houses together, like, you name it, you know. He'd played a ton of board games with me. We used to play LARP together as well. Yeah, I'm one of those terrible humans. So, yeah, you know, he was a little bit arrogant and stuff like that, but he was the kind of person that, like, you know, he was like, yeah, no, I know Bane super well, right? And he does. He totally does. So I knew the only way that I was going to win, because I was Hitler, was if I convinced him, and only him, that I was one of the good guys. And that's what I did. I just socially engineered the crap out of him for, like, I don't know, 40 minutes. And I didn't care about any of the other players. I only cared about him. And he did all my work for me. He was like, no, I know Bane. There's no way he could be blah, 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 blah. All this sort of stuff. So yes, I don't play social deduction games because A, it makes people mad at me, and B, I'm pretty good at them. So, another friendship ruined. No, that friendship is still very much intact. That's one of those lifelong friendships. But Saboteur is a fantastic game. I think I prefer Saboteur 2, which I think is the one that I have. Yeah, Saboteur is a fantastic game. I love showing it to people. Saboteur is another social deduction game, but you're playing dwarves, and you're like mining together to try and get this gold in a cave system. And I'd say the only bad thing about Saboteur is it really needs 5+ players to be good. It needs to have 2 saboteurs to be good, basically. But yeah, you're either a good dwarf trying to like find the gold and stuff, or a bad dwarf trying to prevent them from finding the gold. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. It's got a lot of nuanced mechanics behind it. A lot of different things that you can do. You can like pretend that you're a good dwarf until a pivotal moment and stuff like that. But you've really got to, you know, it's really risky to do. But yeah. I always get blamed as the saboteur as I am the greediest dwarf. These things happen. Social deduction games are designed to use your friends and acquaintances as tools anyway. Yeah, they totally are. They totally are. And hey, Rumby, I'm doing pretty fantastically. We're so far currently deathless. And honestly, I'm going to predict that we remain deathless from here on out. I think we've had pretty much like the hardest part of the game for me is pretty much over and done with now. So, not too familiar with one-player board games. How many have you tried? I'd probably say, I've probably only played a small handful of specifically one-player games, but I have played a lot of one-player variants in multiplayer games. So, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, good luck figuring that out, unless you were familiar with the game. Yeah, there's quite a few one-player board games, Rumby. So, if you aren't, this is going to sound once again pretty egotistical, but like if you're not amazing at board games, like if you're not like someone who like figures out all the odds and stuff like that in your head when you're playing a card game or something like that, Friedman Freese's Friday is an amazing one-player experience. It's a single-player only board game, or card game, and it's incredible. It is pretty much everything you'll probably want in a single-player game. You are trying to survive on an island before you get rescued and stuff like that. And it's kind of a joke, but the other single-player board game I'm going to recommend is much the same. The Robinson Crusoe, which I will definitely be doing a playthrough at some point, is also fantastic. Robinson Crusoe, I think, can be played at more than one player, but it feels like a game that is primarily designed for a single-player experience. There's a lot of detective games that are single-player. Yeah, like what? I know that a lot of them can be played single player, but I didn't think that many of them were specifically single player. Because I wouldn't mind getting my hands on Logic, like a Logic game that is really single player focused. Like I have Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, and you can totally play that single player, but I feel like it's a better game with two. Yeah, please do, Lucky. Yeah, just send it to me via Discord. I'll check it out after the stream. Speaking of, we just got over the 2-hour mark, pretty much. And it might feel like we're really close to the end of the game, but the end of the game takes a while, so... I think I'm still on time target, though, especially since we haven't died. Yeah, so there's someone nearby me, oh! Thank you for reminding me, Jopra. Not that you knew you were going to. So, I literally just sold the, I got a Nintendo Switch Lite, sent to me for, donating to charity, for like one of those charity-thons that we're on. It was a Super Mario Maker charity-thon. And, Detective, City of Angels, I haven't heard of that. But yeah, there's someone locally to me who's selling Fallen Skies and the expansion for, I think, like $90 Australian, which is, I think, a pretty good price. I just didn't have the money. But now that I sold my my Switch Lite, that is what I was going to pick up with it, but I'd forgotten. So, because yeah, I think. I've heard that Fallen Skies is a fantastic single player as well. And hey look, it's another game to play on stream, so why not? You should be able to send that back, shouldn't you, TBW? Like, isn't there I think Nintendo have their own, let's grab this. And get hit a whole bunch. But yeah, you should be able to return that to Nintendo if memory serves, even if it's outside of warranty, because they've recognized that there's defects with it and yada yada yada. All right, look at me getting all cocky. I'm taking damage for no reason. Yeah, I've played, I have one of the Chronicles of Crimes, and it's totally, it's totally good. Yeah, so, I don't know, there's two ways I was thinking about that, Lucky. I know a lot of board game devs, like a ton of board game devs. Like, I've been special thanked in, like, 20 board game booklets by now, or something like that. I think it's more than 20 now. So, like, getting new games to play shouldn't be a problem at all. And potentially getting sponsorships, if I wanted to do that, is totally an option. And as long as it's a board game that I would want to play anyway, I don't see any problems with getting board game sponsorships for that purpose. Outside of that, I don't really know how to monetize something like that. I wish I did, but I just don't. But I kind of need to monetize it if I want it to do well, because I would need to, like, the equipment that I have is good to start out with, but, like, it could be better, right? So we have hit our max life. We now cannot level up life anymore. Actually, no, I think we can level up. Is it max 8 or max 9? No, I'm pretty sure it's max 8. Yeah, Olav, I was doing 3D printing. Yeah, like, I'm happy to talk about that. So I was doing a lot of 3D printing stuff, using resin manufacturer and stuff like that, and I was going to be 3D printing prototype components and stuff like that, as well as premium components for existing board games. It was a really solid business idea, and it would have probably done quite well. But as it turns out, at the ripe old age of older than 35, I figured out that in addition to having bipolar, I also have ADHD and autism, and turns out that's actually a really potent cocktail that doesn't let you get anything done for any meaningful length of time. So yeah, that's been fun to deal with. But a lot of it's getting treatment now and stuff like that, and I'm in a better headspace than I was. But it meant that it didn't matter how good the ideas were for this stuff. This boss can be a bit tricky. Thankfully, he's easy to hit, but his attacks are hard to avoid. So I'm gonna focus here. But yeah, basically mental health sucks, right? Like some people have no or very limited mental health issues, and I'm grateful for those people because those people make some cool stuff. I do not have the capacity to make a ton of cool stuff, unfortunately, so but I'm learning to work within my limits, and hopefully that's what the board game streams will be. We'll see. Either way, I'm doing them for me. I'm not doing them for anything else. I'm not doing them as a business decision. I'm not doing them to make money or anything like that. But if they do, that's neat. So... Alright. Yeah, unfortunately we have to stay here until we get to... There we go. Alright. But Olaf, I did make a... oh, pretty soon, Baron. Oh yeah, so we got a device that let us get past that guy. Oh yeah, I forgot about these guys. I had forgotten about these guys. Sorry, when I did the playthrough of Zelda earlier, I didn't play through the whole game. I just played through enough to make me think that 3 hours was a pretty good time. Yeah, pretty soon, Baron. But chances are it'll be... Actually, for you, it'll be fine, because it'll be during Australian daytime, which is pretty much when you seem to be around the most anyway. But yeah, it'll be soon. Very soon. Although there probably won't be a whole bunch of them, because my sleep schedule will slowly run out of whack, as it always does. Oh, almost ready for that glitch. Yeah, look, I mean, mental health is no joke. I wish it could be seen better, right? Like I wish that there was some sort of like visual thing that told you, hey, look, this person has XYZ, you know, so that way people would just, so that way people could get diagnosed easier and younger. Like, I shouldn't have to be in my like mid to late 30s getting diagnosed. So, come on, fairy. Damn it. Oh, we didn't really need a fairy anyway. So the swamp like slows you down and makes your jumps a little bit weird. So, yeah. serious Bane with serious topics. Yeah, no, I completely agree with that, Ninja. Like, you make a very valid point, right? I remember, like, when a psych said to me the first time, like, oh, so what do you like on a normal day? And I'm like, what do you mean by a normal? Like, I just didn't understand that question. It just, is pretty terrible. Hey, Tree Leveler. Yeah, I'm gonna drop a survey, Shadow, because you and Max said much the same thing about that. And so I'll drop a survey, and see if people prefer the current way I'm doing things, where, like, I'll stream Pathfinder Kingmaker at relatively specific times. I'll stream Football Manager at relatively specific times. But yeah, if it turns out that a majority of you are like, oh, just catch the VOD, then that's fine. I'm just a little bit worried because, like Twitch VODs have been really, really bad recently with ads, and I can't control that. So, like, I control it when I'm live. You don't get any ads outside of the pre-roll ad that you can't control. But yeah, I don't get to control the way ads work on a VOD. I can assure you I won't watch Pathfinder regardless of when you play it. Can't have ads if you don't get partnered. Well, technically, I mean, I'm affiliated, not partnered, but yes, you make a valid point. Oh, I don't think, Brelix, I don't think either of those are particularly better for me. I will say that it takes, even though it's simple to do, it takes a lot of mental effort and energy for me to export my VODs to YouTube. So I don't do that. I really wish that there was some automated feature to do that, but there unfortunately just isn't. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Agorist, I mean, I'm surprised that you're being diagnosed with that. Maybe it depends on the country you're in, but I was pretty sure they got away with that. They removed that that specific thing and just coupled everything into autism now. But maybe it's different in different parts of the world. Sure, we can totally stop with serious talk, TPW. Here to laugh, not to think. Oh, come on, it's a Bane string. What are you here to laugh about? This is just pure competency. It's pure competency. Now, you can't tell TBW to not be mean. He doesn't understand the meaning of the word. No, seriously, he doesn't. Laughing is for Pepsi Man and Overblood. Yeah. Yeah, Pacific Rim is a fantastic little movie. Another surprisingly good movie. I don't remember the name of the movie right now, but I'm gonna call it by its alternate title, and by alternate title I mean its title in my head, which is Rock'em Sock'em Robots the movie, which could also work for Pacific Rim, but hopefully. Oh yeah, by the way, we have to crawl into another fireplace to get to the old man here. Real Steel, that's it. Yeah, Cynthia. Real Steel. Real Steel's a lot of fun. Yeah, the one with the huge Jack Man. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Robot Jockster, sure. I would say that there are an awful lot of BRs on Twitch. BRs and, oh yeah, so we got Spell, and Spell, well, does what spells do. Yeah, I don't know what time it is in Brazil, but I mean, there's a bunch of Americans here too at the moment. So I would say I think I looked at my channel analytics. I know Jake's is different, but my channel analytics are mostly Germans still, a lot of Dutch. And then it's Brazilians and Americans, so... I really should be slaving for board game chat as we hooked. What else can we talk about board games? I'm sure we can think of something. Well, I mean, I posted about it in Jake chat, but not everyone follows like the real life section of Jake chat. I found at a like a flea market a copy of Diplomacy, which is like a really notorious board game for ruining friendships. But it's quite an old board game, and oh no, hang on one second. Alright. Hi kitty cat, how you going? You're gonna jump straight on up, aren't you? Yep. Hi. I need to take you out of the room. I do. I didn't know you were in here when I closed the door. Oh. Okay, this really isn't gonna work. This really isn't gonna... I know you love me. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Hi. Oh, the face smooches. Excellent. No, don't get on my keyboard. Don't get on my keyboard. Okay. Alright. 1 second, folks. Oh. There you go. Oh. Yeah, it would have been good if I had the camera on, but I did not. This is how you extend this game to 3 hours. Alright, let's get back into it. Doesn't help that I'm allergic to the damn things. Yeah. I love cats. Oh, plenty of people do, Brelix. Yeah, oh, wait, TBW said no serious talk. Oh, you know my thoughts on dogs, Cynthia, come on. I'll never own one, but I like them. Ooh, Ninja, tough. I'm a big sucker for shredded squid, but only if you like things a bit spicy, because they tend to be a little bit spicier than things like the thin sticks or the smoked squid. So, good morning, Luke Corn. Glad to see you around. I should be finished up relatively on time, I think. I certainly hope so. Alrighty. Yeah, it is going to be a little bit spicy, Ninja, so just prepare yourself for that. Because they definitely don't repay you for it. Depending on the brand, it might be a little bit sweet as well, but yeah, no, it's good stuff. Like, it really is good stuff. Come on. Up there. There we go. So yeah, we're just a few levels out from maxing our stats. Everything maxes at 8. Oh, man, I can already feel those cat allergies creeping in. Thank you very much, Olaf. I love having you around. I really appreciate you hanging out. Can't wait to see your Mega Man X run. It's going to be really good. Oh. And there's a way. You just gotta come on. There we go. Could have used the jump magic, but like, why waste it? That's the weirdest thing, Desert. I'm not allergic to mine. This is the first cat that I've really been massively allergic to, I think. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older or what's going on, but yeah. So, where is the enemy? Who is the enemy? Oh, it's him. But wait, we've seen this guy before, and now we're doing massive damage to him. Surely, this is not the real boss. Okay, if we could stop taking damage, thank you. Oh. But he does like a real boss. He gives a key like a real boss. He must be a real boss. And through this key door is an item. Not the end boss for this dungeon. Alright. So this is actually like a bit of a complex dungeon to get around. Not as bad as the next one, but still pretty bad. Yeah, I take antihistamines, but I also have dry eye, and dry eye is exacerbated by antihistamine usage. So, I can take antihistamines, so that way I don't end up a snivelly, sneezing mess after the cat's been around. But then I end up with, like, massively itchy eyeballs, and oh, what's that word? Conjunctivitis. So, it's a win-win. It's fine. Nice, we made it up there first time, that one. Oh, nice. And back over there. Alrighty. Yeah, I do have some eye drops, that said, that definitely help with things, but I don't like taking them, basically. First movie I'll watch now that I'm free won't be Dune, but Spooderman. Yeah. Yeah, so here in... Oh yeah, by the way, you've got to fall down pits intentionally in this level. But not all of them. So we're actually going to travel interstate when the next Dune comes out, and watch like 1 and 2 in an IMAX. Well, not 1 and 2, because who knows? Who knows what they'll call the second film? But yeah. Dried squid is not bad at all. I would have expected it to be chewy as hell, but it reminds me much more of dried fish. Yeah. Yeah, that is exactly its slot in my life, Ninja. Like, I still buy beef jerky a fair bit, but honestly, if I'm at a supermarket, and there's jerky versus squid, I'll generally buy the squid because I feel like the squid is better value for money for me. Alright, let's do that, and let's do some fire as well. Oh, right. Yeah, that was useful. So Zephyr, you're quite vulnerable. There is a real potential for me to... No, we're all good. Oh, nice. Real potential for death on that screen, but we're all good. Gotta say, loving the rice and beans recipe that I've been using. It's good stuff. I never thought that I'd like rice and beans, but here I am. Like, I'm such a meat lover, that I'm surprised. Alright, so you might notice that, hey, it's the same guy again. Surely, this is not the boss. That was a good hit by us. Let's get him back on the screen. Alright, get in there. Come on. I'll just take a hit. Oh my gosh. I wish I knew, like, I wish I could look at the code for how these guys use their shield. There we go. Another key. Oh. But maybe we need to... Fairy. Ah, now this looks a little bit more like it. Unfortunately, this boss is not particularly difficult. In fact, he's not a joke, but he's not particularly hard. Dude comes up, dude shoots fireballs. You can't really avoid the fireballs. And you shouldn't really. You can effectively out DPS this guy, so... You can use jump, so it's weird, right? Like, jump makes it both easier and harder. And there we go. And this gets us our last level of magic. And so our next one will... Oh, by the way, yes, you can still totally fall down a pit and die after getting that key. Ask me how I know. So it's time for Glitch O'Clock after this. Been waiting for that glitch with bated breath. Now is your time. Now is your time. So, we're now at max level. The only thing from here on out is if we get to 9,000 experience, we just get an extra life. We have max level, we have max health, we have max magic, and we're going to be going towards the final dungeon. But first, we have to go into a town with monsters. And check it out, it is the Kasuto. Strange. It is deserted. And check this out. Like, it's destroyed and stuff. I really like the work they do in this place. But unfortunately, all you have to do is, once you've got the stuff, you just come here, and you get the ultimate magic. The most powerful magic. Thunder, lightning, I forget what it's called. Thunder, there we go. And yeah, I was right. It is more expensive than life, but Thunder has only a single usage. I forget, Death's Head. Have you already filled in the survey or dropped in a game that you want for your long play marbles? I've probably pestered you about it if you haven't, but if you have, feel free to keep it going. Oh, that's right, you did submit Return to Castle Wolfenstein. Good luck with that. Well, Brelix, now's your time. I'm kidding. It's probably still a couple of weeks before you need to really submit a game. But if you don't submit a game, I'm going to make a rule, and that is if your marble wins, it gets to be my choice what game I play from all submitted games. So you better submit something, otherwise it'll go to waste. Alright, so what did we just do there? That was the glitch. So that square of empty land had an encounter on it. And it's quite a tough encounter. So what we did there was we moved on to that tile at the same time as we were hit by an enemy. And for some reason, the enemy encounter takes precedence over tile encounters. We're going to use that again. Well, I suppose we could have used it there, but this one isn't too bad. But yeah, it actually lets you bypass any encounter in the game that's on the map. It even lets you bypass caves if you do it like right, but you have to do it like the cave one is like way more finicky. It's like probably frame perfect or something. We'll try and get it, but I doubt we will. Alright, so this is the like lava desert land. And we're in the final bits of the game. Oh yeah, you don't need to give a reason for your game to me, Death said. So far, no one submitted any games that I have outright wanted to say no to, so that's pretty impressive. Alright. These guys are just a little bit annoying because they move erratically and they can stop you and make you plummet. And I really want this deathless run, so that's what I'm going for. That being said, I would be really surprised. Like, hey, yes, we can die to a couple of pits and stuff on the way. But especially considering I'm avoiding the difficult encounters here, using a glitch, because I'm a filthy, filthy glitch user. I'm fairly confident that we have this in the bag. And we have, what, 10 minutes to go? Should be doable. Oh, don't tell that to me, Luke. I did this. I've timed this specifically for you. I'm sure we can think of something else to do if we run out of time. I can always do the Baron trick and put on pilot wings. How late do you think you'll be, Luke Corn, if you've got an idea? Because that'll let me know what to put on. There's really not much. This isn't the kind of game that I can really show off anything more after the credits, sort of thing. I've practically been literally everywhere on the map. If it's going to be like 20 minutes, no, I missed the cave there. If it's going to be like 20 minutes, I can probably do a bit of SOTM around 50 minutes later than most. Yeah, sure, no worries. Just give me a holler when you're ready to be hosted, and I'll make sure to get the host on. Alright. So here we go. It is time for the final castle. And unique, badass music. Let you enjoy them background tunes for a little bit. Alright. So yeah, a lot of games in the NES area, when you eventually got to the end level, they didn't throw any new enemies at you. But this game does, even if it's mostly just a variant on the Hammer Bros style enemy. It does have some special things. It has fireballs that sometimes can follow after you. I think it's random. But every now and again the fireballs can, once they land, they'll go to your last known position, which is pretty cool. I think that's the only new enemy in this area, but it's a pretty cool one. So, reason why I damaged the wall above me is so that way I can downstab these guys when they come past. Now, if you don't kill those guys, when they reach one end of the screen, they wrap around. So you can very quickly end up with 2 or 3 of them on the screen at once, and then they're really hard to deal with. So you'll probably see me kill them a bunch throughout this run, even though it sort of seems like they're Castlevania Medusa heads. Like, if you think of them like Castlevania Medusa heads, they're not. Oh yeah, these guys as well. I forgot about them. But yeah, technically, there's one other surprise enemy in this dungeon. I call him Bob. You'll know Bob when you see him. All right, he's Big Blue Bob. Yeah, see that fireball come and chase me? Yeah, It's pretty random. Don't even joke about big blue bulbs. Oh. Yeah, I wish I could love real-time strategy games. I just can't. I just cannot. Like, even from a younger age, I couldn't. Like, I tried to play Age of Empires, the original one, I just was never good at it. The only, like, real-time strategy game I've ever been good at was Command & Conquer. And, like, we're talking single-player Command & Conquer. Like, was never any good at multiplayer. Alright, come on. No worries, Brelix. I totally understand. You're only missing, like, a couple of little boss fights and then credits, so I think we have this in the bag. Thank you for sticking around. Always like having you here. But yeah, as you can tell, I'm cheesing the heck out of this guy. But, it's a good thing. Yeah, I wish I knew enough about RTS games to really figure out why people prefer AoE over CNC and vice versa. Like, I don't even really like Warcraft 3. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Warcraft 3 maps. I used to like code and build my own Warcraft 3 maps. So, oh yeah, these guys. I forgot about these guys. Yeah, technically it's a new enemy, even though it's just a big version of an old enemy that does pretty much exactly the same thing. I think my problem with oh, so I'm running away from that guy because even though the other guy's off screen, he can still follow me. See? I wish, like, this is going to be a contentious thing that I'm about to say. I wish the games were, like, limited in micro. You know, like, if you've activated a unit and done something with a unit, that unit is on cooldown for a period of time and you can't activate it again. Because I don't feel like people say real-time strategy, right? But if you're versing someone with worse knowledge than you, but like significantly better APM than you, they beat you. Hey, it's Bob. There's Bob. And I just, like, isn't the part of a real-time strategy game the strategy? And shouldn't it be defined by the strategy? It shouldn't be defined by a build order and APM micro and stuff like that. Like, yes, build order is sure, it's part of strategy as well, but yeah. Real time comes first though. Yeah, I get it. But it'd still be real time if the units had a cooldown after they were activated. That wouldn't be stopping it from being real time. Hey, fan of gaming. Well, you got here just in time for the end of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. So, here we are. And here's the boss, and we just use a spell. The only reason we have this spell is to disable the red shield that this guy has. And this guy is effectively the Ganon of this game. I think he's called Thunderbird or something like that. I don't really remember. And as he gets hit more and more, his attacks get Oh, am I going to do this without taking any damage? Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Fantastic. Won't be able to do the next bit without taking damage. I mean, no, that was totally the end of the game. Yep, that was the end boss, guys. We killed him. GG. It's time for the third piece of Triforce. Oh my gosh, there it is. Let's get the third piece of Triforce. Yeah, we have the third piece of Triforce, and... uh-oh. What is that? That's right, it's Shadow Link. Now, I wish I could say that this is a particularly interesting fight, but it really ain't. I mean, you've faced the knights and people who jump over you and stuff already, and it's basically just a longer fight of one of those. Except that sometimes he'll stay in an area and you've got to come to him, which is kind of neat. You can kind of glitch him a little bit in this corner if you get it right, but yeah, not always. Also, hey, Irrelevant Rellington's party, hope you're doing well. It's just about the end of this, but that's alright. Ah, yeah, see what I mean? He does sometimes just stop you. And yeah, in just a second, that is time. 2 hours, 50 minutes, I would say. Oh, not too bad. Definitely without a death, which I really didn't think was going to happen. I just, I kind of jokingly sort of made that up at the end there, but, yeah. No pits, so I was pretty happy with that. I'm sure someone's done this damageless, and that would be truly flawless, but I'm pretty damn proud of that. Ah, you saved Hyrule. And you are a real hero. Oh, they're doing a little smoochy behind the closed curtain there. And it was all spelled correctly. Nice, indeed. And yeah, this is the only other unique piece of music for the game, which is pretty cool. Credits have its own little bit. And it's kind of like a remix of what's already been before. Alright, I'm gonna have to plug in my old controller. Let me just do that. Alrighty. Well, Lucky, I hope that I lived up to your expectations of a competent Zelda 2 run.